when the music fades and all is stripped away, and I simply come, longing just to bring something less of worth that will bless your heart.
I didn't play football in high school, but most of my friends did. I remember every summer, 2 weeks in early August, when my friends had double sessions. I didn't hear anything from them because during this time, they spent every waking moment training. When the 2 weeks of double sessions were over and we did reconnect, I always noticed a change in them. After 2 weeks of hard exercise, they were leaner and more agile. They were also more focused and intense, and they had developed a camaraderie that carried them through the season. This happened every year that we were in high school. Those 2 weeks in August would affect a noticeable change in them. I think John the Baptist is up to something similar out in the desert. Prepare the way of the Lord. The Gospels focus on the baptisms he administered, but those were just the climax of a whole ministry of repentance. People came out into the desert to hear him. This was not an easy journey. It took several days to get to him, and just as long to get home again. These journeys required fasting. It was difficult in the first century to preserve food, and in the wilderness, there were no places to stop to purchase anything. These journeys also required mental focus and an open heart. Highways were lonely and dangerous, and it would have been easy to turn back when the going got tough. Finally, when you finally arrived at John the Baptist, you would wind up living in a camp in the open air and spending your days listening to his intense preaching, which was probably exhausting, even if it was inspiring. This adversity worked a positive change in the thousands of people who came to hear him. The struggles, the dangers, the environment, the preaching, and then finally the baptism led each one to undergo a profound repentance that left them a different person. They were less entangled with the world and less invested in sinful habits. They felt a camaraderie with each other, especially with those they met at John's camp. They had, in the desert, prepared a way for the Lord in their hearts.
I think one of the things that we all, at some point in time, especially as Catholics, deal with, and that's pain and suffering. And that can come obviously in a lot of different forms, physically, mentally, spiritually. And I think the natural reaction is the prayer to God to ask, please take this pain and suffering from me. And I think God can do one or two things to take it away from you, or he can allow you to continue to deal with it. And so I think the question is, how do we deal with it, and what do we deal with it, and why? And again, as Catholics, we probably all have heard sometime, we'll take that pain and suffering and offer it up. Well, what does that mean? It's real similar to what Jesus was going through. I mean, Jesus, knowing he was going to have to suffer and die, didn't necessarily want to go through that. So his prayer to God was, please, if it be your will, take it away from me. And when that didn't happen, he realized, okay, so now I've got to enter into this union with God. And so that's what we have to do. And his pain and suffering helped in the redemption of the world. So what do we do with our pain and suffering? We offer up the willingness to suffer. And we offer that up for anything or anybody. I have several family members that are far away from God. So I'm going to offer that up to God. And I think what we're able to do, because in being made in the image and likeness of God, we want to participate with God. And so that allows us and helps us to participate ever so slightly and smallly in the redemption of the world. Not running from the pain and suffering, but offering up a willingness to suffer for that, getting something out of that pain and suffering. And again, for me, I want to offer that up for somebody close to me, because there's no hurt and pain like somebody in your family going through something, especially with your children. So you want to offer that up for them, and just for a small, brief moment, help participate in the redemption of the world.